Hi, I'm Andrew.
And I'm Maya. Welcome to the second series of Behind the Rhymes.
The mountain we all climb. Equal ends. Markers of grey and markers of white, lanterns with candles shine out into the night. Tales of couples together again, divided by beliefs and ideology, but now side by side as equal friends. Life counted in many years, innocence and experiences washed away in tears. A young man now remembered in cold stone who died far away from loved ones and home, a tree not a cross or a crescent moon, religion forgotten in a white stony tomb. A walk through the past to centre oneself, to remember those lost and their place in myself.
What lies behind equal ends, Andrew?
A friend of mine were discussing cemeteries in different countries and how there were differences between markers in cemeteries. And I was inspired to write a poem really about it's about death um, and life as well, and how we all end in the same way.
Do you like going through cemeteries and why?
Cemeteries are interesting places. You are looking at snapshots of people's lives, and yes, you are just seeing the end there, but actually you can get things from the life. I remember seeing tombstone with a man etched into it. It was quite a good drawing, and it was of him dancing, and it got some inscription about him dancing on there as well. So obviously, I'd never met this man before, never seen him, but then I'm looking at a very realistic image of him, a photorealistic image of him, and I know that he obviously was a dancer at some point or enjoyed dancing. So I guess that's you can get snippets of people's lives there. It's not all cemeteries are not all about sadness for me. You're actually celebrating someone's life there, really, not someone's death.
There is a line in the poem, a walk through the past to center oneself. What does that mean for you?
I think you can get things into perspective when you're walking through a cemetery. You see young people, old people, couples. Sadly, sometimes you see children there as well. So you can see that I got to my age, and lots of people didn't get to my age for whatever reason. So it kind of just puts things into a little bit of a bigger picture for you that death happens to all of us. But actually, the middle bit in between birth and death is life, and we sometimes forget that. I think there. What do you get from walking through a cemetery?
I actually, culturally, I'm very interested in visiting cemeteries. So often, when I travel in different countries, I go and visit cemeteries. There are very famous cemeteries that I've visited in London, in Paris. It's a bit of a hobby of mine because I like seeing how people honor their dead, what kind of monuments they built. I've been to cemeteries which are totally atheistic. So, for example, I've been to cemetery in Moscow, which has celebrated the lives of people who are atheists, communists. Then I've been to Muslim cemeteries, Christian cemeteries, etc. So I do find it a celebration of life, although sometimes it can be extremely sad, especially in cases where life has ended prematurely.
What's the most famous cemetery you've ever been to, or
Um,
famous sort of grave you've visited?
oh well, there's many
Just pick one.
famous. Karl Marx, for example, he's buried in London. What about you?
That's interesting. Jim Morrison, the singer of the Doors. I visited his grave in Le Père Lachaise Cemetery on one of the anniversaries of his death 20 plus years ago, probably now. And that was a spectacle in itself. Unbelievable there. Um, have you visited a cemetery recently?
Yes, I have visited many cemeteries sometimes during regular walks that I do. Um,
Have you lost someone recently?
yes, sadly, I lost two people that were very good friends in the last 2 years. So I'm reminded of them when I go through cemeteries. Funnily enough, one of them also enjoyed visiting cemeteries, so we've been to a lot of cemeteries together. But I do find cemeteries inspirational. The epitaphs, the style in which they're designed. Yes. Do you think that we're equal in death, Andrew? Is this how one can interpret equal ends?
Well, I'm sure I wouldn't be the first one to quote such things, but it really is the great leveler. Everybody has that to look forward to, and no amount of money or power or anything you can do is going to stop that from happening. I mean, it's interesting. You can't always say that birth's a certainty because it's not. And life is not always a certainty either, but death, if you're born, it certainly is a certainty. So I think we are all equal in the end, no matter how grand your monument is, or whether, like me, you choose not to have a monument at all. We are all equal right at the end.
Now that we know what lies behind these rhymes, would you like to read the poem again?
Equal ends, markers of grey and markers of white, lanterns with candles shine out into the night. Tales of couples together again, divided by beliefs and ideology, but now side by side as equal friends. Life counted in many years, innocence and experiences washed away in tears. A young man now remembered in cold stone who died far away from loved ones and home. A tree, not a cross, or a crescent moon, religion forgotten in a white stony tomb. A walk through the past to centre oneself, to remember those lost and their place in myself.